Welcome everybody to another of Passport's online Zoom tour director lecture series. Today we welcome Luis Troconis. Am I saying that right, Luis? I'm always trying. Can you say it for me?
Troconis. Troconis. Yeah,
Troconis.
yeah, good.
Not bad.
Pretty close.
We welcome Luis. He's doing the Architecture of Madrid today. This is a lecture we tried a couple weeks ago, but we had a technical glitch and it all shut down on us, so we're doing it again. Welcome back, Luis. By the way, my name is Dave. I'm the president of Passports. Thank you all for joining us. For more information about our lecture series, you can visit our blog at passports.com/blog, and you can see each of these blog entries has, 10 or so lectures in it. So for instance, if I click this one, you could see all of the lectures we did this week, and all the videos are online with direct links to the videos for your sharing pleasure. If you can use these in a class or to share with friends or family, please do. You're welcome to. The lectures are usually 20 to 30 minutes long. Everyone has a question and answer period, which we will do coming up shortly after Luis talks. And sorry, I'm just opening up my chat again. Here we go. And you can post your questions right into the chat here. Please note that the chat is not public. It just comes to myself and Luis. Luis will be talking, so he won't be looking. So anything you write in there will pretty much just come to me. So if you want to chat, put it in there. Love to hear from you. After the questions and answers, we'll have a Kahoot, as always. And I'll be playing. I didn't make the Kahoot, not cheating. I didn't put it in. I didn't see the questions and answers. I'm just watching like everybody else. So we'll have a Kahoot. That's always fun. And there it is. So, all right, Luis, I'm going to turn it over to you at this point.
Thank you very much, Dave. Let me share my screen here. Okay, I'm clicking everything. And we don't have videos today, but like I told you, we have a couple of surprises, especially at the beginning and at the end. At the end, we have a couple of things. Okay, I think you can see it now, right? Presentation?
Yep, looks good.
Good. Okay, like Mr. Markle said, my name is Luis Troconis. I am an architect, city planner, and I am a tour director for Passports. And I have a big passion for architecture too, of course, besides sports and other things we have talked about. I decided to start with this beautiful picture of Madrid, more specifically Gran Via or Broadway, because we see all kinds of buildings. It's a pretty eclectic and elegant and majestic avenue in Madrid, but it is also during the day and also with the sunset. So you see the natural light and the artificial light. One of the most beautiful buildings in the city, the Metropolis building, beginning this great avenue. And you see at the end, this building of the phone company Telefonica, which in a way resembles the Empire State Building of New York. They're a bit similar, built more or less in the same age. But also you can see the old red roofs of beautiful Madrid. And at the end, our mountain, our Sierra de Guadarrama, okay? So I want to start with this one. Let's go for the next one. Well, here, just something, sentimental, wearing the same tie that my mom gave me as a gift for graduation when I graduated as an architect. So my mom and my dad, my mom here wearing my medal, very special day in my life. So I decided to wear the same tie. Then remember, we are here in Spain, where we got a lot of influence in these former centuries from here, the Middle East, from Northern Africa, being in the southwest of Europe, and then going from this strategic position to conquer the new world, discover and conquer the new world, okay? You see the Kingdom of Spain as we know it today since 1492. Remember origin Hispania, from Roman times, the land of rabbit is the translation. And for them, in those centuries until 1492, this was the end of the earth. This was the westernmost point. And actually here, after you pass Santiago, you find a place that is called Finisterre, the end of the earth, before 1492, when Christopher Columbus was sponsored to travel. Today, we have 47 million people, about 7 times less than in your country, remember? And then you have 50 states. We have 17 comunidades autónomas, autonomous communities. And within these comunidades, we have provinces. So we have 50 provinces, you have 50 states, that's easy to remember. And in this next slide, you can see that inside each state, you have a few provinces, right? Remember Andalusia, we have 8 provinces here, a little bit smaller, Córdoba, Málaga, and so on. In the case of Madrid, this triangle right in the center, we only have 1 province, okay? The name of the city, well, it has different names and versions, mainly coming from Moorish times, Muslim times. And you see there Maghrib, Matriz, Mairit, Majerit, almost all of them referring to a land of waters or a riverbed or a river canal or the land of water springs, everything related to water. And we still have many springs today. We have a river that is not so important as other European cities, but we have a lot of water underground. And so remember, very important this part, although it's a short introduction. From the year 711, as you know, the Moors, tribes from North Africa, conquered all this land, coming all the way to the north. And around the 11th century, these kingdoms from the north decided to unite little by little to reconquer this land, finishing in Granada. In Madrid was, again, founded in the 9th century, but the reconquest was in the year, as you can see in the notes, the year 1085. And a very important year when Madrid became the capital, because the capital was Toledo, Toletum, Roman, and in the year 1561, Madrid became the capital. You have the year there in bold letters and underlined, so it might be important for your Kahoot later. This is our state, Comunidad Autónoma, our province. We have 179 municipalities, and you see how many people. We have 6.5 million in the metropolitan area, and they have 3.25 million people in the central area of Madrid, where I am right now. This map is a little bit funny or crazy because I don't think it's a very good map, but it does have a good scheme of the main elements of the city. The river, Manzanares, remember you say apple, we say manzana. Manzanares, apple trees, and you see the river bringing water from our mountain, the Sierra de Guadarrama, here on the west side. And this is where everything started, because you know we need sweet water to live, and we found the first alcázar or Muslim palace in this area. Apparently, it was accidentally burned, and over it was the royal palace as we know it today, the Palacio Real. From there, from this area where the palace is, you see a street that begins, is the main street or Calle Mayor, and then it turns into Calle Alcalá. So you see it goes from southwest to the northeast, Calle Mayor and Calle Alcalá. Another element, this one here in the center that divides the city in south-north. Well, it runs from south to north, divides the city into west and east, of course. And this one is called a paseo, a promenade, right? A boulevard. The beginning is called Prado. You see the names in the notes, Prado, prairie. Recoletos over here, and then Castellana, the last leg, the longest one, okay? This is Paseo del Prado, Recoletos, La Castellana. You see our most beautiful park, El Retiro, And here you see Gran Via. Remember Gran Via, the first picture, or Broadway, okay? First time we see a really good connection with the northwest of the city. So very important. I wanted to give you a map of the 1700s where you see the maze or labyrinth that this medieval village of Madrid was, the river, where everything started, the palace. But you see, it was difficult to get around. At the same time, it's fun because it's not so monotonous as this part, which is quite simple, right? Orthogonal, and everyone knows where they are, but all the blocks are the same. Here, you don't know where you are. And for the enemy, it was difficult to conquer a city like this, but then it developed. And then here you see it a little bit better. North, south, you see the river, again, crossing southwest to northeast, and the Gran Via here, and you see how the city starts to be organized in the 1700s, 1800s, and so on. You see the park. Okay, and this map that I really like with the barrios. Look at the notes. Barrios, neighborhoods in colors, and the main buildings that we visit in Madrid. For you, I drew a golden triangle, or the triangle of arts, as we call it. And what do we have there? The three main museums of the city. Thyssen, Bornemisza Museum, the Prado Museum, and the Reina Sofia Museum. That's our golden triangle. Again, in bold, so might be important. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start walking from the river to these gardens. We're gonna see a bit of the palace and of the cathedral. The oldest buildings in Madrid around here. This village, the Plaza de la Villa, village square, main square. We'll go to Puerta del Sol and then up through this beautiful street Preciados to Callao. We will see a bit of Gran Via and these buildings, and then we come down Gran Via, pass by the Metropolis building, see this beautiful palace, and we're gonna take a picture together, okay? We go into the park and we see the museums and something extra that I have here for you in the south and in the north, okay? You ready? Let's go. Oh, you're lazy, you wanna take the metro. Okay, let's see, what lines do we have? If this is a center Sol, we have many, many lines, about 12 lines in the metro system, a tram or a light metro over here. So a pretty good system that opens from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m., pretty good. Takes you to the airport if you want in 40, 45 minutes from the center. Or if you don't want to walk, we also have the short distance train, cercanías, we call it. And look, right in the heart of the city, and you can go also to the Terminal 4, to the airport in about 30 minutes. So very, very convenient. We're very proud of our transportation system, and we have buses 24 hours a day. Okay, in case you forgot, remember we're gonna do this walk like an S, more or less. Like an S. Well, let's see. But before we walk, let's fly. Okay, we're hovering, flying over the Retiro Park, looking at the east, beginning of the day. You see this telecommunications tower or antenna, our artificial lake or pond, and we keep flying. We see now from the south, the city of Madrid, the park again to the east, northern part, our sierra, our mountains. And then you see the old part of town, a little bit messier, right? Gran Via around here. And the museums that we're going to visit a little bit later around here and here, okay? We fly to the west to start walking. We go over our main square, Plaza Mayor. Look how beautiful it is with the mountains in the back, Opera House, Royal Palace, and the Cathedral. Look at this. It looks almost fake, huh? How beautiful it is. La Almudena, the patron saint of the city, and the palace in front. This is a new museum because we found some new ruins in Madrid. This is about to open. and the gardens of the Moors. This is where we're going to start walking, okay? So here we are. We are in a garden, we're walking. Imagine you're bringing water from the river, or you just washed your clothes in the river. You're walking up to your palace, el Jardín del Moro. Go in front of the palace. We are at the cathedral now, looking towards the palace. The palace has changed many times depending on who has been the king, but I wanted you to see how many rooms it has, more than 3,000 rooms. And a very special room, the Royal Armory room here to the left, which I missed the first time I went, and people asked me, did you see the armors? Because people know I love a movie called A Knight's Tale. It's my favorite movie. And I said, which armors? So I had to go back some other time to check out the beautiful armors in the Royal Palace. We see in front of it the cathedral. I have a few notes here. You see it's quite a recent cathedral. Neoclassical on the outside, so trying to imitate those Greek and Roman styles, but in this case in the 1900s. Outside, and then Neo-Gothic inside, and I'm going to show you a bit of that inside, okay? I put the height there for you in meters and in feet, and remember more or less the conversion for the last buildings of this presentation. Let's go inside. So you see how beautiful the cathedral is, how colorful the ceiling is, this beautiful sky or heaven. But look at the tainted glass. They're not like the medieval ones you have seen in other churches. These are pretty modern. And well, as you know, because it was built in the 20th century mainly. And if you're not paying attention, there is Luis showing you the ceiling with his passports bag, okay? And then this was last night. I told you I went for a walk, Dave, last night during our allowed or permitted time to walk, and I saw part of the wall from the 9th century, the Muslim wall I hadn't seen before. So I took a picture and added the picture to the presentation, and I also took a picture of the cathedral. Look how beautiful, no filters, very natural picture last night walking. And then we see very close to it, our oldest building in Madrid. So very important, underlined and in bold letters, that's the Church of St. Nicholas, Iglesia de San Nicolás, from the 12th century. So you might want to take some notes there. We start to see a style, mudéjar style. We see some arches here in the tower. Also, in another church nearby, 14th century, St. Peter, San Pedro, we see Romanesque arches, and we see other little arches, horseshoe arch, that always tell us, you know, Muslim culture, Moorish culture, okay, horseshoe arch, okay. And we come to the Plaza de la Villa, the village square, 15th century, and we see more of the mudéjar style. Remember in 1492, the Muslims and Jews were expelled from this territory or forced or invited to join Christianity. And those people who stay, especially artists that stay and decided to become Christians, continue working for the Catholic kings in different areas and in architecture. They developed their beautiful geometry and tendencies, avoiding always the representation of images from the Catholic tradition. But we see their stamp in many buildings, in architecture and other art too. And that's what we call mudéjar. So basically this Moorish influence, right, in our arts after the Catholic kings, 1492, were established. You see the horseshoe arch here, a little bit different. And we also see the influence of Toledo, Holy Toledo. That was the capital before. How do we see it? We see the granite here in the base. We see the use of brick here, the stones by levels, and we start to see the iron, the cast iron in balconies, and glass also little by little. Okay, these are the wealthiest houses at the time, the wealthiest families, the Cisneros, Lujanes, and here in the tower, you see once again the horseshoe arch, okay? And we arrive very quickly to our Plaza Mayor, our main square. You see the years when it was built. And after that, the previous plaza, previous square, this became the main square. Here, everything took place. The market, the parliament would take place here, executions, bullfighting, and many other things took place here. The beginning was built in wood, but after a few fires, was built also in granite. And you see also the influence of the Habsburg dynasty here. These tiles, black tiles and roofs, very vertical, avoiding the snow to accumulate. It reminds us a bit of the north of Europe. Remember the Habsburg coming from what we know today as Austria and Germany. You see the name of the architect, porticos all around, and I told you about the different uses. Hey, who are these people? Maybe you recognize some faces. You know, we get together every year in Passports to improve, to see what we can do better. Last time here in Madrid, we walked a bit to Plaza Mayor. And last night, when I went for a walk, I decided to take another picture here at the square so you can see how empty it was, usually very crowded. Once again, if you have forgotten, we have walked to this area, Plaza de la Villa, Plaza Mayor. Now we're gonna go to Sol, up to Callao to see Gran Via, down to Metropolis Building, Cibeles, Park, and museums, okay? Let's walk. Puerta del Sol, our main meeting point, our Times Square, if you will. If you think about a celebration or a demonstration, it takes place right here. Symbol of the city of Madrid, el oso y el madroño, the bear and the strawberry tree, a similar fruit. I took my mom there last time she came. We see each other every few years, either here in Spain or sometimes in the States, although she lives in Caracas, Venezuela. And well, during the day and at night. And this one was taken last night too. You see how empty the square is. Preciados Street is supposed to be the 5th most visited street in the world, so usually very crowded. In this case, when it turns to the west in Callao Square, you see some people. It's just so nice to walk around, and you have all kinds of restaurants, bars, shops. It's very nice. These are the movie theaters of Callao. Let me show you another picture. Here better, you see the cinema. And another very important meeting point because it's right in the center of Gran Via. We have 3 lanes for cars. We have broader sidewalks. And you start to see this beautiful building, Capitol building, that was built around this time, because this is the 3rd part of Gran Via, the last part that goes downhill. Capitol building, and look at the end, the Tower of Madrid. Torre de Madrid, one of the first skyscrapers in concrete. You know, they're usually built in steel. This one was built in concrete in the middle of the 20th century. So let's walk down there. This is one of my pictures. We passed by the Lion King. I have a friend who sings there, but I've never been yet. Tickets, the minimum are almost like 40 euros. We see a bit dark the tower, but we're gonna go up the tower, okay? You ready? Okay, I have a friend who lives in these towers, so we were able to have a gathering up there and take pictures at night. We're very excited that finally this building, Edificio España, was opened after being abandoned or closed for many years. So it was open again. You see there's a hotel, a chain that took charge of it. And now what is getting very trendy in Madrid is to go to rooftops. So everybody's having a rooftop. I love this small one over here. This one is getting very expensive, so I love this one. And if we go down the square, you see the tower and the building. I have to tell you that this is Plaza de Espana, one of the most important squares, because this is an honor, it's an homage to Cervantes. Cervantes, the writer of Don Quixote de la Mancha. So you have Don Quixote here with his buddy, Sancho Panza. Beautiful square. now being refurbished these days. More rooftops as we go to the east of Madrid. This is in the hotel where we stayed last time, so this could be your same view, and the beginning of Gran Via once again during the day and at night. Again, you see the name, Gran Via or Broadway. You see the century, very important, 20th century. Was built during these ages, and this was the beginning of the growth in height of the urban profile of Madrid. The first skyscrapers and all the banks and insurance companies trying to have the tallest buildings, the highest buildings, even using statues or sculptures at the top. Just a block away in our neoclassical quarter, we have Plaza de Cibeles with the goddess Cibeles right in the middle, goddess of architecture, of agriculture, sorry. Beautiful fountain and the palace behind. Usually, well, we know that it used to be telecommunications and post office. Now it's used as a city hall, ayuntamiento. And this is where Real Madrid comes when they win a trophy to celebrate. They have a metal structure around and they put a scarf on top of the goddess to indicate that we have won a trophy, so we come here very often. Okay, let's take a picture together, everybody in the group of passports. I take the picture because I'm not there. I cut a little bit of the palace, but it's okay. Nice picture. And then we walk a little bit to the south. We pass by the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum. This is where we have most of our classical and modern art, so both. Many American artists have exhibited their work here. And our main museum, of course, the Prado Museum for Classical Art. So we have Goya, Velázquez, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, many different artists. We just celebrated 200 years of its construction. And you can see we have about 8,000 paintings and about 1,000 sculptures. If we go to the extension of it, actually we're stepping on the roof of the new part of the Prado Museum. We see the extension done by Mr. Rafael Moneo. And in front of us, we have our Gothic church, Iglesia de San Jerónimo, Saint Jerome Church. Besides, Real Academia Española, Spanish Royal Academy. And behind, we're gonna see the park. Look, this building is also Moneo style. You can easily recognize his style by the use of brick, orthogonal lines, and you'll see another building done by him soon. Who's this little fella? This is my nephew, Thomas. Last time they came to visit from London, he's inviting us to go into the park. My brother is waiting, my sister-in-law and a friend. So let's go into the park. Well, the name of the park, remember, El Retiro, underlined. Different dates there for you to indicate when it was finished, when it was partially open to public, and finally in 1868, when the city hall was able to, well, this was given by the kings to the city hall for the use of all the citizens here in Madrid. So these are favorite park. You can see it has about 20,000 species of trees and plants. Our artificial lake, this is very empty now, or empty today, but hopefully in a month it would be as crowded. And again, now we are here. We're gonna come down to the south part and we're gonna finish in the north. Let's walk a bit more, okay? Reina Sofia Museum, where we have our modern art. You see the dates, would be 4 centuries, but the thing is that this building to the right, the Sabatini building, also because of the architect who built it, used to be a hospital. And there was an international competition a few years ago for the new building, and the French architect Jean Nouvel won. They decided to unite these two buildings with hallways and staircases and elevators I think they did a pretty good job. You see the exhibitions here in front. And the masterpiece in this case would be the Guernica by Picasso. Okay, remember Guernica, the little town in the Basque Country that was attacked, authorized by Mr. Franco, so that the German Legion could bombard this town. And Picasso wanted to show the world through his art what was happening. Today we use social media. In those days, Picasso, in 1937 in Paris, in this international fair, Picasso wanted to show the world what was happening during Civil War in Spain. And this is a bonus. This is something extra that I added. I really enjoy visiting this building, the Kaiser Forum Museum, because it used to be a power plant, power station, and these Swiss architects, Herzog and de Meuron, did a pretty good job remodeling, and the building seems to be floating. So when you walk under it, you can barely see where the columns, where the structure is. And there's a little cascade fountain in the back. So it's a very peaceful place. And of course, with this beautiful vertical garden, it adds a lot of life to it, right? And great contrast for the city. Also, a little bit to the south, we have our beautiful train station, Atocha. I know the picture is a bit blurry, so I took another one, a selfie. You're going to see in a second. But we're very proud of our high-speed train. In Atocha, in this old building, now we have like a greenhouse. And then in the new part of the station, we have this part done by Moneo, remember the Spanish architect? And this is where we take our high-speed train. You see the velocity, the speed there. We call it ave. You say in English birds or bird, we say ave, but also means alta velocidad, high speed. So it's a game of words there. And this is me, wider than my jacket these days, but that's Atocha, really close to home. Again, we're flying and we're gonna go north. We're here. We're gonna go north to show you a couple of areas, and we're almost finished. But very important, our business area after the dictatorship in the 80s and 90s, this was built. Our first skyscrapers of this time, Picasso Tower on the left. And we're gonna go towards this tower very soon to take pictures of the most important stadium in the world. Okay, but first let's go to a square between all these towers. I love this space. So peaceful too, and so clean. I think it's a great urban area for the city. Still the main business area in Madrid. And from this tower of Price Waterhouse and Cooper, we see the stadium as it is today, but it's being refurbished, remodeled to look like this. Are you prepared? This is how it's going to look. In a couple of years, they want to do this metal facade. They want to put a roof, that you can move, and they want to make it a 5-star stadium, more areas to walk, and we'll see. And almost near the end, these are our new skyscrapers, almost 800 feet high. And well, I participated in one competition with other architects for a palace of congresses that is going to be built behind these 4 towers. We call it Las Cuatro Torres, the 4 towers. We're not very specific at this time, but I want to show you a model that I worked on and the design that we proposed. This is the model we did. We won a mention. We didn't win any of the prizes, but well, won a mention, and this was the basic proposal from us to Madrid. And well, we had some fun, and I think it looked great. And that's it. That's my beautiful city. I hope you keep this image in your mind, in your eyes, and I'm sure you will be able to come very, very soon. So now is the time for questions and answers. And well, as I promised, maybe I can take you, Dave, and everybody to the terrace.
Before you go, let's stop your screen share. Here, I can do it. Hold on.
Okay.
So then we can.
Oh, okay.
So then we can see. There we go.
That's right, that's right. So let's see, come with me, hopefully. Well, let me bring the phone just in case, because I'm using my data. I cannot see much sunlight, but I think you will be able to see part of Madrid. Wait a second. We're connected, right? No problems with the connection?
Yep, still good.
Okay, so I'm in the terrace, and this is beautiful Madrid in the back. You can see more to the south, a little bit to the central area, and to the north, Tower of Madrid and Edificio España. And yeah, I wanted to show you a bit of this. So maybe we can do the questions and answers right here. It's more fun.
All right, sounds good. So we have one. Michael asks, how long has the bear and the strawberry tree statue been in Madrid? And what's the story behind it?
Well, long story has been for centuries. They say has always wanted to represent the fertility, the prosperity, the strength of the city. That's why they say it's a she bear. Right in Seoul, I think it has a couple of centuries, but I have to check that exact date for you. And well, yeah, it's been there for quite a few centuries, representing Madrid. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Any other questions? Boy, it does look nice there.
Yeah, it's very nice. You can listen to the birds. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay.
1 second.
I don't see anything here in the chat.
Do you see the chat?
Oh, okay, now I see it. Yes. Tio
Yeah.
Pepe. Oh, good question, Michael. Tio Pepe is a brand of sherry wine from the southwest of Spain, and probably the oldest one we have. People love to have it, especially as an aperitif. And we have many other brands, many other types of sherry wine, but Tio Pepe is for sure one of the main ones. Yeah, thank you for the question, because I wanted to say that about the advertising in Seoul. Oh, more questions here. Tapas good in Madrid, of course, and I want to take you to the places where you can get them for free with your drink, Larry, okay, especially by the park. Jerez, Michael says, Jerez in Spanish and sherry in English, yes. And then Laurie, if you had to narrow your list down, what would be the top 3 places that someone visiting in Madrid? Okay. So first, you have to go to the park. I love being outdoors, so I would go to the park first, the Retiro Park. Right besides the park, the Prado Museum to see some of our masterpieces, classical art. And then just walk through Gran Via. Just smell the city, taste the city. As we say, patear, so kick the city. That would be the main thing, just walking in the central area. Yeah. We have many places, Dave, where we have tapas included with a drink or for free, and it's amazing. In that neighborhood, it's called Retiro, behind the park. I lived there for a year, and it was great to just go there. Great atmosphere, and sometimes getting all the food for free. Yes.
Perfect. All right. Any other questions before I post this Kahoot? I don't want to. Usually, I have the Kahoot screen up this whole time, but since you have something better to look at than the Kahoot screen, I figured we'd leave that up. But
Well,
if the
Lori says she
questions
has
are
been
done,
to all those places, so maybe if you want something new, Lori, as I said, the rooftops are getting very trendy. So going to rooftops to enjoy the views of the city and maybe a little bite or a drink, I would say that's something more recent that not many people have seen. And I can recommend other
sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I can recommend other small museums, the Sorolla Museum, the Museum of the City of Madrid. Not many people know it, and it's beautiful. Lori, and there are other small museums that many people do not know. So I would suggest that. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Connect this again.
Great questions today.
Yeah. It also depends on the taste of people. You know, sometimes people just want to see art, or they just want to eat or watch sports. So it depends on what you're more interested, Lori. Your expectations, your tastes, right? So I try to adapt, but we have so many options, and the city is live 24 hours now. Yeah.
All right. I think everybody is probably in. We're going to get started. If you have any other questions, just ask while we're cahooting, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we chat through the whole thing anyway. Now that Luis isn't in here, I have a chance of winning. Ha! Luis can't play this time.
I'm usually very slow, usually.
Nah.
Oldest building standing in Madrid. That wouldn't be the right picture.
It's not?
No, but it's okay.
Oh, that's good, because I was going to say, oh my gosh, I should look at the picture first. Because I answered, and then I looked at the picture. I said, oh no.
It's still, you don't have the name of that building in the 4 options, so it's okay. It's probably the most beautiful building in Madrid, that one that was in the picture, yeah. Capital of Spain.
I had this one the other day, too. Remember, somebody else was talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Unless it was you talking about it.
Maybe Julian or Tom. Yeah, maybe they said
it. It was probably Tom, yeah, because he was talking a lot about geography. I missed that one.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay, Red Bunny. Most visited park. Parque de atracciones is the amusement park.
A lot of people go there?
Yeah.
Not as many as Ritual.
Okay. Ooh, Story Lark.
You got a close race here.
Okay, let's see. The Golden Triangle of Madrid. Okay. This was easy, right? This one was easy. I think no?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
Diplomat Ant. Okay.
Diplomat Ant. That's a good one. These names are,
Which century? Gran Via. Oh, it's a beautiful picture. Colorful.
Everybody has to remember their Roman numerals too. So it's like a double. It's a double.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, random.
Okay.
Tough one. All right. As usual, if you are on the podium or just want to tell us where you finished. Wow, no 5 out of 5s this time. Tough one. You're welcome to post it in the chat, and we'll call you out. Nice job.
You didn't win, Dave, this time?
No, I missed a couple that time. I got a couple. Charles, nice job.
Miller, congratulations.
Well done. Good work.
I'll buy you churros when you come, Charles.
Ooh, sweet offer.
Okay.
All right. Hold on a second.
All right.
Haha. All right. So thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for watching. As always, you can check our blog for upcoming lectures. Tomorrow we have Wanderlust with Matthias and Switzerland with Sarah at 11 and 1 p.m. Eastern. Can't wait. Hope you all join us then. As I always say, and let me get my link here, please send whatever feedback you have. We love to hear it. And Luis, as always, nice job. Oh,
Thank you.
Nicholas, do you have something that you'd like to ask? Post it right in the chat.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for connecting. And yeah, if you have a question, go for it.
No, looks like you left. Maybe you clicked it accidentally. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Luis. Always a pleasure. Great job. Thanks for
Thank you,
bringing
Dave.
us up
Thank you,
out on the
everybody.
roof. That was sweet.
See you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.